mind. Every day, without realizing it, we fight two battles. One takes place in the world around us: traffic jams, difficult people, bad news, financial pressure, disappointments, and uncertainty. The other battle is invisible. It unfolds beneath conscious awareness inside the subconscious mind. Most people spend their lives trying to control the first battle while ignoring the second. Yet the ancient Stoics understood something remarkable over 2,000 years ago: external events possess very little power compared to the interpretations we assign to them. Modern psychology would eventually discover that much of those interpretations originate from the subconscious. The Stoics didn't use words like neural pathways, implicit memory, cognitive bias, or automatic processing. They lacked MRI machines and neuroscience laboratories. Yet they arrived at a profound understanding that today's psychologists continue to explore. Your life is rarely shaped by events. It is shaped by the subconscious meaning your mind attaches to those events. That single realization changes everything. Imagine two people losing their jobs on the same day. One immediately believes, "I'm a failure." The other thinks, "This is an opportunity." The event is identical. The subconscious programming is completely different. One person's subconscious interprets unemployment as personal worthlessness because perhaps years earlier they learned their value depended upon achievement. The other subconsciously believes setbacks create opportunities because their internal programming expects growth after adversity. The Stoics called these judgments. Modern psychology calls them subconscious belief systems. Different terminology. Same battlefield. Marcus Aurelius wrote that our lives become what our thoughts make of them. Many interpret this as positive thinking. It is much deeper than that. He wasn't suggesting we simply replace negative thoughts with optimistic ones. He was pointing toward mastery over the mind itself. Most conscious thoughts are merely echoes of subconscious programming. If the subconscious repeatedly whispers that people cannot be trusted, your conscious mind will constantly notice betrayal. If your subconscious believes success belongs to other people, opportunities become invisible. If your subconscious expects rejection, you'll unconsciously behave in ways that create it. Stoicism teaches us to question our impressions before accepting them as truth. The subconscious mind produces thousands of impressions every single day. Fear, anger, jealousy, anxiety, resentment, desire. Most appear automatically. They simply arrive. The Stoics would argue that while we cannot always control the arrival of these impressions, we absolutely control whether we accept them. That distinction separates emotional slavery from emotional freedom. Consider road rage. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Within milliseconds, the subconscious detects threat. Heart rate increases. Muscles tighten. Stress hormones flood the bloodstream. The subconscious has already begun writing the story. They disrespected me. They think they're better. People are idiots. Now consciousness enters. This is where Stoicism begins. Instead of accepting the subconscious narrative, the Stoic pauses. Maybe the driver never saw me. Maybe they're rushing to a hospital. Maybe they're distracted. Maybe it simply doesn't matter. The event never changed. Only the interpretation changed. That interruption weakens the subconscious habit. Repeat this process enough times, and the subconscious itself begins changing. Modern neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. The Stoics simply called it practice. This connection becomes even more fascinating when examining habits. Nearly half of our daily behaviors occur automatically. We brush our teeth without thinking. Drive familiar routes almost unconsciously. Reach for our phones the moment boredom appears. These behaviors originate within subconscious systems designed for efficiency. The subconscious loves repetition. Whatever you repeatedly think becomes easier to think. Whatever emotion you repeatedly experience becomes easier to experience. Whatever belief you repeatedly reinforce becomes your default reality. Stoicism is essentially subconscious training. Every morning, Stoics practice negative visualization. Imagine losing your possessions. Imagine criticism. Imagine illness. Imagine inconvenience. At first glance, this appears pessimistic. It is actually subconscious preparation. The subconscious fears uncertainty. By mentally rehearsing adversity, uncertainty loses its power. The unfamiliar becomes familiar. Fear decreases. Resilience increases. Today's athletes use visualization before competitions. Military pilots mentally rehearse emergencies. Elite surgeons imagine procedures before entering operating rooms. The subconscious doesn't completely distinguish vividly imagined experiences from actual ones. The Stoics understood this centuries before modern science. They intentionally conditioned calm. Another fascinating Stoic practice involves separating what we control from what we cannot. This may be the single greatest strategy ever developed for reducing subconscious anxiety. Anxiety almost always concerns uncertainty. Will people like me? Will I succeed? Will I fail? Will something terrible happen? The subconscious constantly scans for possible danger. It evolved to protect survival, not happiness. The Stoics recognized this endless scanning as wasted energy. Instead of fighting uncertainty, they divided reality into two categories: things within our control, things outside our control. Our opinions, our choices, our effort, our character. Those belong to us. Other people's opinions, weather, economics, politics, the past, the future, those do not. The subconscious desperately wants control over everything. Stoicism teaches it to let go. This is not surrender. It is liberation. The subconscious also operates through emotional associations. Suppose someone mocked you while speaking in public during childhood. Years later, every presentation triggers anxiety. Your conscious mind knows you're safe. Your subconscious remembers humiliation. The Stoics would not tell you to suppress fear. They would encourage examining the judgment attached to that fear. What exactly am I believing? Is this belief true? Is embarrassment actually harmful? Does another person's opinion define my worth? These questions expose subconscious assumptions hiding beneath emotion. Awareness weakens automatic reactions. Reflection rewrites subconscious code. Modern cognitive behavioral therapy functions similarly. Challenge irrational beliefs. Replace distorted interpretations. Practice repeatedly. Stoicism anticipated these techniques by nearly 2,000 years. Another remarkable insight involves desire. Modern advertising depends upon subconscious programming. Companies spend billions linking products with happiness, attractiveness, success, love, and belonging. The subconscious absorbs these associations long before conscious evaluation begins. The Stoics warned against becoming slaves to desire. Not because pleasure is evil, because dependence destroys freedom. If your happiness depends upon external possessions, your subconscious becomes permanently vulnerable. Someone else controls your emotional state. If peace depends upon praise, criticism becomes devastating. If identity depends upon wealth, financial loss becomes psychological collapse. Stoicism relocates emotional stability inward. The subconscious gradually learns that peace comes from character rather than circumstances. This transformation is revolutionary. Imagine waking each morning without requiring perfect conditions to feel content. Imagine criticism no longer defining your identity. Imagine failure becoming information instead of humiliation. Imagine uncertainty producing curiosity instead of panic. This is not emotional numbness. It is subconscious independence. The Stoics frequently reminded themselves of mortality. Memento mori. Remember that you must die. Many misunderstand this phrase. It isn't about obsession with death. It is about clarity. The subconscious constantly postpones happiness. I'll live once I retire. Once I become wealthy. Once I lose weight. Once everyone approves of me. Death interrupts these illusions. Mortality reminds the subconscious that time is finite. Suddenly, petty arguments appear insignificant. Material obsession weakens. Gratitude increases. Relationships matter more. Purpose becomes urgent. Awareness of death teaches appreciation for life. Few exercises reorganize subconscious priorities more effectively. The Stoics also understood attention. Where attention goes, subconscious learning follows. Spend every day consuming outrage, fear, and negativity. Your subconscious concludes the world is dangerous. Spend every day comparing yourself to carefully edited social media lives. Your subconscious concludes you are inadequate. Feed the subconscious gratitude. It searches for blessings. Feed it bitterness. It searches for enemies. The subconscious becomes what it repeatedly consumes. Stoicism encourages intentional attention. Choose your influences carefully. Choose your conversations wisely. Choose your thoughts deliberately. Each choice becomes another brick in the architecture of identity. Identity itself may be the greatest intersection between Stoicism and subconscious psychology. Most people don't merely have thoughts. They become their thoughts. I am anxious. I am a failure. I am unlucky. The Stoics challenged identity. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of emotions. You are not your anger. You are the one experiencing anger. That subtle distinction creates psychological distance. Modern psychologists call this cognitive diffusion. Meditation traditions call it witnessing. Stoicism called it reason governing emotion. Whatever the terminology, the result is the same. Freedom. The subconscious may generate fear. Conscious awareness decides whether fear becomes identity. Perhaps the greatest lesson Stoicism offers the subconscious mind is this. You become what you repeatedly practice. Practice resentment. Become resentful. Practice gratitude. Become grateful. Practice panic. Become anxious. Practice courage. Become courageous. The subconscious never sleeps. It records repetition with relentless precision. Every reaction is rehearsal. Every habit is instruction. Every thought is programming. The question is not whether your subconscious is changing. It is changing every day. The only question is who is writing the script. Your impulses? Your fears? The media? Other people's expectations? Or your own deliberate philosophy? That is why Stoicism remains astonishingly relevant after more than 2,000 years. It is not merely a philosophy about endurance. It is a manual for subconscious conditioning, a guide for replacing automatic emotional chaos with intentional emotional discipline, a blueprint for building a mind that cannot easily be manipulated by fear, praise, criticism, wealth, or misfortune. Because true freedom has never been about controlling the world. It has always been about mastering the hidden world within. The subconscious mind may speak first. It may produce fear before courage, anger before compassion, and doubt before confidence. But it does not have to speak last. The Stoics believed that wisdom begins the moment we pause between stimulus and response. In that brief silence lies the greatest power a human being possesses, the ability to choose. That choice, repeated over months and years, reshapes habits, character, and destiny itself. Perhaps that is the enduring secret of Stoicism. It is not about becoming emotionless. It is about teaching the subconscious to become an ally instead of an adversary. And when the subconscious finally learns that lesson, peace is no longer something found in perfect circumstances. It becomes something carried within, wherever life leads.